What is going on YouTube? It's your boy L Spanky here with a more serious video. I don't have my glasses on because I kept getting a glare, and it was just it the glare was annoying, and I guess I don't really need to see to make this video. So with that being said, this is gonna be one of my more serious videos. As you can see, I've been trying to make, Fortnite content. Hopefully, eventually, some League of Legends, maybe even Apex. But so far, just Fortnite content. But this is going to be a video about something much more serious to me, and that is drug addiction. And as the reason you click this video, I'm going to tell you. I guess we can jump right into it. I'm not going to give any backstory, but if you actually want to know what's up with me, I could definitely make that another video if that's something you guys are interested in. I don't really know which direction to take this, but I feel some things maybe need to be said. And I definitely think I have a story to tell. So let's get right into it. How being a heroin addict changed my life. And there are definitely positives and negatives to it. At the end of the day, yeah, I feel like the negatives are obvious. I kind of wanted the reason more of this video is to go over the positives, so it's not, to show it's kind of not the end of the world. But I guess you got to show both sides of the spectrum. So we are gonna go over the negatives, and there's a lot of them. At the end of the day, as far as it when you're really bad in addiction, right? You lose yourself. You don't even actually like realistically, you're not even in control at that point. I mean, you are, right? I guess, kind of. But the person you are when you get, clean, you'll look back on and be like, I don't even know how that person existed, right? Like, you're gonna lie to your loved ones. You're gonna, because you're hiding it, right? You don't want people to know, so you're lying to your loved ones. You're going out and saying, oh, I'm doing this, and really you're just, trying to find a way to get high without anyone noticing, right? And there's no hiding it because, yeah, when you're in it, right? And there's always a chance of ODing, and more than likely, if it gets bad enough, eventually you lose your family, you lose all your friends, like relationships with them. Eventually, people look at you and like basically accept the fact that you are gone. No joke. Like, I mean, that's like people like are gonna be like, yeah, I mean Hank's there, right? But he's not really there. Like he's gone, you know. At one point, my father told me that he accepted the fact that one night he was going to lose his son. Like he was just waiting on that phone call. So you obviously indirectly hurt everybody you love and care about. Like there's so many relationships that I've lost and dampened because of my life choices. People really never trust you again. Like as far as everyone in my area goes, I mean not everyone, but to most people, I'm no longer Hank, right? I'm Hank the fucking heroin addict, like the fucking junkie. I mean, and I was bad. Like you can't really see, my weight. I'm not gonna take my shirt off here, but I do have a picture. It took me forever to find something. Let's see here if I can make it a little bigger here. Ooh. And yeah, I don't know how easily you can see that, but I was super skinny, right? Like, before, because ultimately, I obviously you lose weight, like you're not eating, you know what I'm saying? You're just out there, doing that, and you lose everybody, man. And it's a rough path, and when you're in it, like you want to stop, and then you try, and then it's like, oh, it's terrible, the withdrawals are crazy, you just can't stop. You do good, something happens, so you slip up. It's always just an excuse, right? And you just keep giving yourself excuse after excuse after excuse, and then eventually people just realize like they can't trust you, like your word is no good in a lot of situations. Like, I mean, some people even go as about from stealing from their friends and things like that. Like me, I never had to do that because I always had a way to get it. Like I always had the means because of some lifestyle choices I was making back then. And I didn't need anybody to get it. I could get it. You know what I mean? So, but I lost, a lot of friends that some of them have never really experienced that lifestyle, so they just don't understand it completely. Others want to forgive me, but don't believe, still don't believe in me yet because there were so many times before. Like, I failed so many times. Why won't I fail again? And, like, that's how they feel. So, it's kind of understandable when you fail so many times. But even when you do good, people ain't gonna think you're doing good. But that's all right, cause you're doing it for you, right? You're not doing it for anyone else if you're doing good. I mean, kind of, right? Like me personally is a little different, cause they tell you you can't stay sober for other people, but I stay sober for, my family, the ones that really love me, and my the friends that really love me, like that I know really fuck with me, that like really care. And I may still want to get high, but I know they don't want to lose me and they don't want to see me like that. So, like, my brothers are probably my biggest influence, to be honest, between them, all three of them. Four actually, because I also have a stepbrother. But, they keep my head right, you know. Just because I don't ever want to be that brother to them again, like they didn't even like I had one of my brothers tell me, for the longest time I didn't even feel like you were my brother, and now we have the greatest relationship ever. Like that's not maybe not great, well we do. We've been able to fix that. He was young enough, luckily, to where permanent damage wasn't done, and we're pretty close now. But these are all such terrible things, right? And that's not to say not giving something, like I'm not trying to just, but you got to discuss the negatives at the end of the day, right? You can't just leave them out there. But that's not, I want you to know that if you are in that state, if you are not doing good right now, just know, man, like somebody out there loves you. Like that's the important thing that we all forget. Cause I know when I was like that, I didn't think nobody loved me. I didn't think anybody would care if I died the next day, and I was always praying I was gonna die the next day. This will be my last shot, cause there ain't no coming back. You feel me? And it's a sick way to live, man. It really is. And I'm not saying, yo, it's super easy and you'll be able to do this, this, and this. Like, I had to change my whole life. I had to lose, like, I don't even have friends, right? Because I can't, essentially. Because normal things that people do would put me in a situation where I'd be like, yo, I need to go get high. So, like, I have to isolate myself to stay in the right mind. Because, like, that's the most important thing. You got to keep your mind right. And there's no other way to get around that. But don't worry, this ain't gonna all be negatives or, bad things, right? And eventually I need to get me a better laptop camera because this thing sucks. But guys, I am sorry, so I'm gonna try to limit my movement. But as far as that's a lot of the negatives. I could keep going, but do we really have to get into that? I think we all understand. But there were a lot of positives that really came out of it. At the end of the day, for me personally, I have a much better relationship with everyone in my family because of it. Because I did at one point. I didn't think anyone, like, I was able to see once I came to, right, and like reality comes. I was able to see that people really do love me. Like that's and that I matter and I'm better than this. You know what I mean? It sounds so cliche, but that's really how it is, right? And I think for me, one of the biggest things that happened to me is I was humbled because of it. For the longest time, I was I had a really negative view of people who use drugs and especially people who were addicted. Um, I just thought that they were like weak. I was just like, man, like what is wrong with you? Like I like if I just put it down, bro. Like fuck, it ain't that hard, right? So when it happened to me, obviously when you have a mentality like that, you're like right back to reality, right? And you're like, damn, this shit, fuck, you know what I mean? So this shit gets real, but it made me a much more understanding person as well, because I realized, like, shit, dude, this is fucked up. This can happen to anybody. Like, anybody can lose their son. Anybody can lose their daughter. You can lose your best friend, and that's the reality people are living. You know, and I guess, like, my ultimate goal, and this goal also wouldn't have happened if I never became a drug addict, is that I can help others, man. That I can show somebody else the light. Make their day, make them question things, make them see what I couldn't see during that time. And even if I only help out one person in my whole life, I'm gonna say that that's a mission accomplished. Cause that's what it's about. It's love, man. I'm not gonna preach the 12 steps, cause that's not how I did it. It works for a lot of people, but for me, it just I couldn't do it, man. Saying I'm powerless to something, like, not happening, bro. Not happening. So, I'm stubborn, and I did it just by saying, eventually, well, I had to go through some things. Basically, I got locked up for a little bit, and, you know, that was the thing that, like, made me, when I got out, by that point, by the time I got out, you know, I was like, yeah, I'm not gonna do it anymore. So, that was my mindset, you know. But, um, that's either here nor there, dude. Either way, that's besides the point of how, you know. I mean, but I can't. Could I say I would have just stopped if that hadn't happened? I don't know. I feel like maybe if the right circumstances. So I'm actually, as weird as it sounds, I am thankful I ended up going to jail, because I think if I didn't, I'd probably be dead. So as weird as that sounds, but yeah, crazy. I don't think it would work for everyone, because, like, I really utilized my time in there, because I've suffered with, like, major depression and, like, serious, like, mental problems, like, not like mental problems, but just I was sad and I overthought everything. Like, I was just a very pessimistic person. And when you get locked up, like, all you got is time. And yeah, all you got is time. So you don't want to be thinking like that. And you can't leave yourself honorable. You got to act a different way. Like, you got to be somebody else, essentially, too. So you don't have time to be looking weak. Especially if you ain't a bigger guy, like, you don't want to be looking weak. So, I had to learn how to control my thoughts and just, you know, not think about it. And I couldn't do it on the outside world. I just couldn't. I don't know why. No matter what I did. And it's not jail that made me. It was me being in there and then focusing with my mind to, like, yo, we gotta shut this thing the fuck off. And then once I did that, everything was a lot easier. So that was actually another hidden positive, is I was able to fix my mental a little bit. Yeah, they really opened me up too. Like, as far as I'm a much more compassionate person, man. Like, no matter what you did or like what you went through, like, dude, I'll listen. I'll, like, I mean, I might certain things, I'm like, but those are the extremes, and if you're that kind of person, like, get out of here. You know what I mean? So, but for the most part, you probably can't tell me anything that would make me think less of you. So yeah, that is a positive, because me, it humbled me, man. And at the end of the day, now my relationships with my family really are better. Like, my brother is, my closest age brother. Me and him are close as fuck. I sure don't mind if he uses Twitch. Oh, wait, hold on. I'm gonna have to do it a little. I'm gonna have to do it a little bit later, but you know what? You know what? Uh, I think I know it. I'm gonna check though. Hold on, boys. it is. Dude, why did I even check? So anyways, shout out to my bro, Devoni XD. Wait, yeah. But Devoni, and you can find him on twitch.tv/I love BUDDXD. Yeah, I love Bud. XD. Yeah, essentially. But yeah, find him on Twitch. But um, yeah, there's not. I try to look at that's another thing. I was a super pessimistic person that would have also never changed. Like I'm not gonna say I'm super positive now, but my mindset definitely has changed. And you know, I guess you can nitpick a few. I think there's definitely other like hidden things. Like for example, me and my father have used to never really have that good of a relationship, and honestly, it made him a better person because he used to be very judgmental and kind of also hateful towards those people. And obviously, when your son becomes one, that changes your perspective of it because you're like, man, I really love my kid, even though he's not my kid anymore. And it's a it's a fucked up situation, you know. And it's a hard thing, man. It's a hard thing to go through. But when you come out of that tunnel, man, and when you see the truth, because the problem is when you're in there and you don't know which way is up and you don't know if you're ever gonna see, the good in life again. Even when there's people trying to help you or trying to do the right thing, you don't see it as that. You see it as everyone turning their back on you. Like I know at least for me, like I just felt like nobody loved me and nobody cared if I lived and nobody wanted me around. Like I was just I just wasn't what anyone wanted. And that wasn't true, man. And I think a lot of us, when we get lost in it, we forget about all those people who were there. We just lose everything. But the thing is you can come out of it. Like you really can, man. I know it sounds crazy. That may sound crazy to some of you, especially if you don't think you'll ever stop. But man, it's not even so much that you want it. Like I feel like at least what happened with me is I thought I hit bottom, right? And I just kept sinking lower and lower and lower and lower until you eventually hit bottom. And you hit that bottom and you're like, dude, this sucks. I can't live like this no more. Something's gotta happen to wake you up sometimes. But I'm hoping that, you know, I just want you guys to know that are out there, man, that you're not alone. Alright? There's a lot of us fighting to stay strong and fighting to keep pushing on, man. But we gotta unite. We gotta help people. We gotta be there. We gotta not look down, and we gotta do the right thing, man. We gotta look out for people. So if you're feeling down, if you're going through it, like if you can't stop, and you ever just want someone to talk to, man. I mean, I know you probably wouldn't choose me, and I don't know how many people see this video, right? But if by some means I'm able to reach somebody and make their day a little better, I hope I'm able to do that because I think you guys deserve it, man. You know what I mean? Like I think that we are all better than this, especially like, if you think you're never going to beat it, I think you can, man. And that's the point. I know I kind of like am a little broken record, but I want people to survive, man. I want people to make it, and I want people to know that this ain't it. That this ain't all life has to offer. And I'm gonna be honest with you. I haven't figured out, the big picture yet, right? But I'm getting closer every day, and that's all you can do is try to make progress. So please, don't give up on yourself. Take it day by day. If you fall, get back up, man. Keep fighting the good fight. All right? I'm not going to say it's going to be easy. I'm not going to say it's going to happen tomorrow. But if you want it, you'll get there, man. You just got to want it. All right? So, that is all for today's video. If you guys like this or, want some information on my backstory, feel free to, let me up in the comments, man. Let me know. And, try to share this video if it's something that, hit close to home or, made your day a little better. Because that's the idea. We're just trying to help somebody. We're just trying to make somebody else know that they're not alone and that they can beat this. Alright? Because if you asked anybody who knew me 2 years ago, they would say that I'll never ever be sober. But look at me today. Hey, I love each and every one of you. Have a great day. Please follow, share, subscribe if you like the video, because I got nobody watching me, so the only way people are going to see this is if you help me out. Thanks. I love you guys. Peace.